You know, it's funny. I think one of my guests once said that a company's brand is a lagging indicator of the company culture. And what that means is that how people feel on the inside of your company sooner or later trickles out to the customer experience. And if people aren't really engaged in having fun inside, sooner or later the products just won't be as good, someone won't care. And you guys seem to really have this like fun, excited company culture. Do you think that's why your brand is so appealing to other people?
I think it's quite a challenge. I think it's something that we're very conscious of. We're far from perfect, but it's become a challenge as the business has grown from me and Dave and maybe 50 people working directly with us, and now there's maybe 150 people. So some people you don't know even that well. So it's how do you manage to instill? Because lots of people would follow us on social media and they think, oh great, I go work there, we'll do handstands, we'll swim in the sea, and then I'm going to do cooking demos, and I'm going to do YouTube, and I'm going to do some interviews, and they don't realize they could be in there like pot and pesto, and it's like it's not a glamorous job, and it's like there's a lot of toil in it. So there's a conflict in that regard, and I guess we're quite cognizant of it and we're doing our best,
and I was going to say I think
we do have amazing people that work with us.
And I think that's part of the challenge, as you would find in your business, I think, to try to keep people inspired, engaged, and as part of a our philosophy for the world is like our business is the very basis is to try and build a happier, healthier world and build a community. So we've got to start internally with that and really try to make people feel part of something, and and it's a constant evolution. We're doing our best and striving towards it every day, but it's a WIP for sure, work in progress.
There's a lot of work to be done to make a company run.
Continuously, how can you build engagement? Like we roast all our own coffee, and like one area that we're kind of the bit that always fascinated with business was organizational structure, as in structures of power. And a traditional organizational structure, people know traditionally it's a hierarchical system. And as a business grows, typically it becomes more rigid and there's more structure to reporting lines and becomes more tighter because it needs to be able to support the growth. But I'm more fascinated with the idea of smaller independent pods where there's more autonomy, more engagement. And like we started a coffee roastery a few years ago, and a friend, Paul Grimes and Shane, run it. And they get a percentage of profits, and they kind of just run it themselves, and it just happens, and there's no SOPs as in standard operating procedures.
And they sell their product back to the business, so it's like an independent, separate little republic. And I think that's where we're trying to move our business to. But then there's so many, there's the ideals, and then there's the confines of you live in capitalism, and there's limited resources, so you can,
It's a dance.
It's like everything in life. There's a constant dance between responsibility and freedom and time. Holidays and work.
Yourself, if you want to be on the edge of creativity and productivity, sometimes you go too far. Sometimes to maintain on the edge, it's a constant balancing.
And as a mutual friend of ours, Rich Rollo, he says like balance. He says always my most productive things, or most of the guests you've had that are very successful in a certain area. It's not from balance, it's from just pursuing something with blind passion and then realizing they're out of balance and exploring spirituality. It's nature of life. And
be obsessed. One of my guests, Grant Cardone, talks about. But my life is never a balance. It's more of an obsession and a realization. And all the great people that we know aren't balanced.